Hello, and welcome back to Figgy in the North, an Iceland travel podcast. The show where we explore Iceland beyond the postcard moments and into the places that feel quietly unforgettable. I'm Figgy, and today we're traveling to East Iceland, a region that many visitors drive past on their way around the Ring Road, but few truly take the time to explore. And honestly, that's part of its charm. East Iceland isn't about big crowds or iconic Instagram stops stacked one after another. It's about space, silence, curving roads that hug fjords for miles, fishing villages where the boats still dictate the rhythm of daily life, and landscapes that feel older, calmer, and deeply rooted in time. In this episode, we're diving into East Iceland's fjords, villages, and wildlife, highlighting the must-see stops, the lesser-known gems, and a few detours for travelers who want to slow down and really experience the corner of Iceland. So, wherever you're listening from, maybe planning a trip, maybe dreaming of one, let's head east together. Why East Iceland feels different. There's something distinct about East Iceland that's hard to put into words until you're there. The mountains here are some of the oldest in Iceland, worn down by time rather than carved sharply by recent volcanic activity. That gives the landscape a softer, more rounded feel, dramatic, but gentle in its own way. The fjords stretch long and narrow, creating a coastline that twists and turns endlessly. Driving here feels immersive. One moment you're high above the water, the next you're right at sea level, passing through tunnels or cresting mountain passes where the view opens suddenly and completely. Because East Iceland is less populated, you'll notice the quiet almost immediately. Fewer cars, fewer people, more moments where it's just you, the road, and the sound of wind or water. This is also a region deeply shaped by self-sufficiency, fishing, farming, and close-knit communities that rely on one another. And that sense of resilience still defines the East today. Main stop number 1. Seyðisfjörður, art, history, and atmosphere. Our first major stop is Seyðisfjörður, a village that feels like it belongs in another world. You reach Seyðisfjörður by driving over a mountain pass, often shrouded in mist, before descending into a narrow fjord surrounded by waterfalls. That first glimpse of the town below is unforgettable. Seyðisfjörður is known for its colorful wooden houses, many dating back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when Norwegian settlers helped shape the town. Today, it's one of the most artistic communities in Iceland. The famous rainbow-painted street leading to the Blue Church has become an icon, but there's much more here than a photo opportunity. The town hosts an annual arts festival, supports international artist residencies, and has a creative energy that feels genuine rather than curated. Spend time wandering slowly, visit small galleries, read plaques that tell the town's history. Sit by the harbor and watch the ferries arrive from mainland Europe. Seyðisfjörður is one of Iceland's key international ports. Optional extra: if you're up for a hike, explore the trails above town that lead past waterfalls and abandoned farm ruins. On clear days, the views down to the fjord are spectacular, and these trails are often completely empty. Main stop number 2, Egilsstaðir, the practical heart of the East. Leaving the fjords behind, we head inland to Egilsstaðir, the unofficial capital of East Iceland. At first glance, Egilsstaðir may feel more functional than charming, but that's exactly its strength. This is where locals shop, meet, and connect. It's a lifeline for the surrounding villages. Egilsstaðir is also the perfect place to pause and reset, stock up on supplies, enjoy a proper meal, or simply take a break from long driving days. Just outside the town lies Lagarfljót, a lake steeped in folklore. For centuries, locals have spoken of a mysterious serpent-like creature living in its depths. Whether you believe the legend or not, there's something undeniably atmospheric about the lake, especially in low light. Optional extra: don't miss Vokbass, where geothermal pools float directly on the lake. The experience is calm, minimalist, and deeply relaxing. A modern take on Iceland's bathing culture. Main stop number 3, Hallormsstaðaskógur, a rare forest escape. A short drive from Egilsstaðir brings you to Hallormsstaðaskógur, and I'm butchering that. This is Iceland's largest forest and one of its most unexpected landscapes. Trees are rare in Iceland, so walking here feels almost surreal. Birch, spruce, and larch create shaded paths that change dramatically with the seasons. This area is perfect for gentle hikes, picnics, and quiet reflection. It's also a favorite spot for locals, especially during summer and the autumn color season. If you've spent days surrounded by lava fields and open plains, this forest offers a refreshing contrast, proof of how diverse Iceland's landscapes really are. Main stop number 4, the East Fjords, slow travel at its best. Now comes one of the true highlights of the East Iceland, driving the East Fjords. This is not a drive to rush. Each fjord feels like its own world, with a single village nestled at the shoreline, backed by steep mountains that seem to rise straight from the sea. First, we have Fáskrúðsfjörður. It tells a fascinating story of French fishermen who once dominated the area. The restored French hospital is now a museum and hotel, preserving that connection. Reyðarfjörður has a broader feel, shaped by its role during World War II when Allied forces were stationed here. Eskifjörður is compact and colorful, with excellent walking paths along the water and a strong sense of community. Neskaupstaður, tucked behind protected mountains, feels remote yet vibrant, especially in summer when daylight stretches late into the night. Stop at roadside pullouts, walk through harbors, chat with locals when you can. This is East Iceland at its most authentic. Main stop number 5, wildlife, Iceland's quiet encounters. East Iceland offers some of the best wildlife encounters in the country, not because they're guaranteed, but because they feel natural and unforced. The stars of the region are the wild reindeer, found nowhere else in Iceland. Originally introduced from Norway, they've adapted to the eastern landscapes and now roam freely. Seeing reindeer here often happens unexpectedly, a small herd on a hillside, or crossing the road in winter twilight. Along the coast, seals are common, especially near quiet beaches and rocky outcrops. Offshore, dolphins and whales occasionally appear, particularly in summer. Bird life is abundant, and the eastern cliffs are home to puffins, Arctic terns, and countless seabirds during nesting season. Optional extras for those with more time. If you can linger a bit longer in East Iceland, these additions are well worth it. Stuðlagill Canyon, a dramatic basalt column canyon that feels almost unreal, especially when the river glows blue-green. Borgarfjörður Estuary, one of the best places in Iceland to see puffins up close, plus colorful hiking trails through Rhyolite Hills. Petra's Stone Collection, a deeply personal museum filled with minerals collected over decades, quirky, heartfelt, and unforgettable. And finally, remote mountain passes. Roads like Uxie offer breathtaking views for confident drivers in good weather. East Iceland doesn't compete for attention, and that's exactly why it stays with you. This is a region built on patience, on quiet beauty, on moments that feel private, even when shared. It's the curve of a fjord that unfolds slowly as you drive, the sound of seabirds echoing across the water, and the feeling that time moves just a little differently here. East Iceland invites you to slow down, to stop more often than planned, to take the long way around simply because the views keep pulling you forward. And in a world that so often feels rushed, that kind of travel can be surprisingly powerful. If this episode sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to add East Iceland to your travel plans, even if it's just a few extra days on a ring road trip. And if you've already been, I'd love for you to share your experience. your favorite village, a quiet moment that stuck with you, or a place you think more people should know about. If you're enjoying Figgy in the North, take a moment to follow the podcast, leave a review, or share this episode with someone who dreams of visiting Iceland. It's the best way to help this little corner of the North reach more curious travelers. Thank you as always for listening and for traveling thoughtfully. This is Figgy, and I'll see you next time in the North.